Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx and this is the last fable out of feathered fables. Crow and the Scarecrow. Let's begin. Takichi, an old farmer, was a master of making scarecrows with straw hats on their heads and a bow and arrow in their hands. Crows and sparrows kept away from his scarecrow, which wasn't surprising. The old man had been good at shooting arrows since he was young. He used to shoot down any little birds he took aim at. He had shot down wild geese flying in the evening sky and sparrows playing in the fields. Birds once stopped chirping and flew away when they saw the old man. As he aged, however, his eyes had gotten worse, and he began to missing his shots at the birds. Yet birds were still scared when they saw his scarecrows, as they thought they were good shooters like the old man. Birds lectured to their children. "Look at that man, standing in the field, who has an awful bow and arrow. Your grandparents told me that you'd be shot by him any time. You'd better not get close to that man." The young birds were told the warning many times, so they kept away from the Scarecrow. The next harvest season came, and Takichi made a new Scarecrow. The birds that were once little were now mother birds, and said to her own little ones likewise, "Those are the terrible things that men have, a bow and arrow." They continued telling their chilled birds the awful story they had been told. That was why birds flew near the old man's fields as little as possible. However, a crow who had never heard the warning flew to the Scarecrow and perched on its head, shouting what you've heard, because I can't do that sound, and picked the Scarecrow on its head. The sparrow were dumbfounded when they looked at the scene, then at last said, "Why, nothing happened when the crow perched on it." They all flew down toward the Scarecrow and found out its true identity, which had deceived them for a long time. "How can this bent bamboo harm us?" the sparrow said, perched on the bow. That night the old man's son, who had recently come back from a trip, said to his father, "These days there isn't a Scarecrow which has a bow and arrow. In the rice paddies and fields there stands a brave Scarecrow which has a rifle." The old Takeji said to his son, "Well, I see. You mean in old days birds knew about a bow and arrow, but today's birds don't know about them." The old man made a Scarecrow which had a rifle instead, and showed it to his son. "Look, this looks nice, doesn't it?" "Indeed, you did well," his son said. Sparrows saw the new Scarecrow and were frightened. Mother sparrows said to their little ones, "That is a rifle. When you go nearer to it, all of you will be shot to death." Bam! However, once more, the crow came and perched on the new Scarecrow. Seeing this, the old man leaned his head to one side. "What is that crow doing?" The crow then said, laughing at him, "I know it can shoot at anything. Idiot! Idiot!" Other birds were impressed by the crow's courage. They had teased the crow before, but now they called it the wisest bird. Sparrows despised the Scarecrow and ate up all the rice in the fields. But one day, all of them were shot down by the old man's sons with a real rifle. Anyhow, You can't easily distinguish the wise from the foolish. Well, nice turn of events, I guess. Unfortunately, this one was the last one of the feathered fables. Hope to enjoy that series of short stories. And well, see you in the next game. Bye.